What's going on, guys? Matt Service here. I just got back from the gym and I wanted to stop what I was doing and make a quick video about a conversation I had with some people in the gym over a topic that I think isn't really relevant enough. It's talked about a lot more right now, but I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on it because I feel like I have a lot of experience with this certain thing. The topic would be body dysmorphia in men and young men in high school, college, pretty much all throughout their lives. And I'll just kind of start by giving my story about that click moment of why I started working out, the things I went through while I was trying to transform my body, and the things that I still go through, having put in all that work, but still kind of not totally okay with myself and my body and the things that people say to me and the way you get treated sometimes. It's not all, you might see it on Instagram. I post the highlights of my life. I post these edited pictures of me pumped up in the gym, but that's not the reality of my life 24/7. So basically it'll all start back in high school, even middle school and everything like that. I grew up really fast. I didn't grow out very fast. And, my body is the type of body where I won't grow out or get bigger unless I work and work and work and work at it. And there's a very big correlation between the way you feel being overweight and getting judged and getting bullied and getting picked on and harassed for your size. There's the same feelings as when you are too skinny. And people, often get looked down on by saying, oh, my life is hard because I'm too skinny. People hear that and they think, oh, my life is hard because I'm too attractive. But it's not the same thing at all. Being skinny and almost looking like malnourished is exactly the same feeling as being too overweight. You feel frail, you feel weak, you feel judged, you don't feel like everybody else. And those are the same feelings as feeling overweight, feeling sluggish, feeling judged because you don't look like everybody else. It's the same battle, you're just going in different directions. And so growing up, I was always on this side where I was too skinny, I was frail, I was malnourished to a point. People were worried about how skinny I was. When I started high school, I was 6'1", and I remember looking at the scale and seeing 130 to 135 usually. I remember going to get my learner's permit, and I told him I was 135 pounds, and I even pumped that number up a little bit because I didn't want to seem that skinny. So I start high school, and I start, summer weights, everything like that. And when you start high school summer weights, nobody's really strong yet. Nobody's a superior athlete yet. You have those people that are far ahead of everybody. But I was kind of running with the pack for the most part. I was always a little behind. And then, we get to the school year, and I went to a Catholic school. And so we all wore the same thing to school every day. We wore these big cotton polos with khaki pants. I remember my freshman year, I got the hand-me-downs from my cousin who was bigger than I was, I believe, because of the way the shirts fit. They were all larges, and so they would come down about here on me. They'd be real big in the sleeves and basically just eat me alive and made me look skinnier than I already was. And I grew my hair out to down here, had all this acne all over my face, typical high school freshman stuff. But because I was so skinny, I got talked about and I got picked on a lot for being skinny. But people don't think it has the same repercussions as calling somebody fat. And that's the main point I want to get across, is that calling somebody skinny or judging the way a person looks because they're too skinny is the same as calling somebody too fat. And my click moment was I can be this specific about it. I was in a world geography class, and my friend who was on the football team at the time, he was always a little bit stronger than me. He was always a little bit bigger. He grabbed a pencil from me, and I reached out to grab it. And when I reached out to grab it and pull it back, he pulled my arm all the way across the table because he was stronger than me. And I looked down, and my arm looked like a tree branch. It was just stick thin. My elbow was protruding out. I had bones, and it was just so frail. I looked down, and I got scared of how skinny it looked. It freaked me out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I pulled back and I put my arms under the table and I sat like this for the rest of the class. Whenever I could wear a long sleeve shirt, I always did. I tried to wear undershirts from that day forward to fill out the sleeves a little bit more. And I would literally sit at night, and once I started working out, I started to sit at night and I'd have a stack of like 3 peanut butter and jellies with a bunch of milk because somebody told me that peanut butter and jellies can make you gain weight. So I capitalized on it. I was like, all right, that's the secret. So I would sit there and I just cram in peanut butter and jellies. I'd be on the 3rd one, mouth is dry, I'm on my 3rd glass of milk, and I'm just like trying to shove it down my throat, basically, like almost tearing up because I'm so full, but I gotta get this thing down. And you're just pushing food in, and just like, and that is what it's like trying to gain weight. And people say, oh, you have to eat a lot of food to gain weight. Oh, your life is so hard. People love to eat a lot of food, but when it comes to doing it day in, day out, having to work towards a goal and eat the same things every day and stuff your face all the time, it's like trying to fill a trash can that's already full. You know, you're stuffing the milk carton down there, you're shoving it all in. You know, it's already full and you got to keep going, you know? It's not just having to say no to certain foods. Eat a little bit less, eat a little bit less. It's constant, it's eating, it's a job, it's 24/7. Your mouth gets tired, your jaw gets tired, you get lethargic, your stomach is distended. It's the same struggles as somebody who's overweight, and they just have to watch what they eat, you know? Just eat a little bit less, and their body burns it off for them. When you're gaining weight, you're fighting against your genetics, you're fighting against your body, trying to put that weight on. And all the while you're putting in this work, nobody sees it. You're in the weight room. I joined my football team because all the guys on the football team were enormous. And I was like, okay, they obviously know the secret, so this is what I have to do to try to gain weight. I didn't know anything about nutrition really. I didn't know anything about food. My coaches didn't really know anything about food either. You know, anything about supplements, anything like that. You know, I would just go in 6:30 every morning, work out with the football team, and I just threw myself to the wolves, basically. A lot of people, they're scared to join a gym. For me, I was like, I'm gonna find the biggest people in here, and I'm just gonna put all my insecurities aside, throw myself to the wolves, and see if I can run with the pack. And so I'm working out, and I remember I wasn't even allowed to use the regular benches because I couldn't bench the bar or 5s or 10s on the bar or anything like that. So all the upperclassmen got to use the benches, and I had to bench on the floor with all the smaller kids using preset barbells, and, you know, honestly cutting my workouts in half because I couldn't do most of the stuff. Then you get into the locker room at the end of weights and people are calling you skinny, people are judging you for the way that you look. You know, they're talking about how much they can lift and you're just not in the conversation. And that hurts a lot, you know? It hurts to not be with everybody else. It hurts to be judged because you look a certain way, you know? And something that the people in the gym said to me was like, wow, I had no idea. You always hear about that stuff in women and the eating and the body dysmorphia, but you never hear about it in men. Is this like a common thing? And I said, absolutely it is. Even the people that are making fun of the people for the way that they look, those people also have body dysmorphia. Those people are also insecure. The fittest people in the world, the fittest people you know, they wake up and they look in the mirror in the morning. Most of the time, they don't like what they see. They see what they can be. Even to this day still, I was posing in the gym and they came up to me and they're like, so you're not doing the show this year? And I said, no, I'm not doing it. You know, there's a bodybuilding show at the end of the year, but I got to get bigger. And they were like, what? I was like, what? They're like, what? We saw you posing. That was crazy. You look great. And I said, well, you know, I think I got to get bigger. I truly don't believe that I've put in the work necessary to get to where I want. And so I know that I need to put in more work to get bigger, come back and be undeniable. So the body dysmorphia will stay with you. If you're afraid of being judged in the gym, if you're afraid of anything like that, just know that those people that are judging you, those people are still probably, they could go as far as crying themselves to sleep at night because of the way that they look. So I know this video has been going off into a lot of different directions because this is a topic that I really enjoy talking about. Not enjoy talking about, but I really care about, and I think is really important. But to get down to the base of what I want to get across to everybody here today is that body dysmorphia goes on all levels. Whether you're too skinny, whether you're super fit, whether you're 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, 10 pounds overweight, it's all the same. It's all relative. We all have the same feelings. A lot of the things my clients tell me is, you don't know what it's like. Oh my God, I got this stomach and this, and you know, it's hard for me to do this, it's hard for me to do this. You just don't know what it's like. I say, I know exactly what it is like. I know exactly what it's like to be eating and want to cry instead of taking your next meal down. I know what it's like to have to follow that diet day in and day out when you just want so badly to see the results sooner and you can't keep waiting any longer. I know what it's like to think that your genetics are just fighting against you and it is impossible to change the way that you look. We are all here for the same goal, trying to change the way that we look, not for any bad reason, but because we know that it's going to be good for our mental state, our physical state, our bodies, our spirit, everything like that. It is not just your body. And so when you're making fun of somebody for the way that their body looks, know that that's going to stick in their head and it's going to affect the way their body looks. It's going to affect the way their spirit feels. It's going to affect the way that they see value in their own life. I have had it to where I feel, even to this day, I feel like to put it extreme, I feel like I have no value to anybody in my life unless I look good, or I'm in shape. My girlfriend, every day, I feel like if I'm not in the best shape that I can be, working hard and working out for her, then she's gonna go look at other people. And she's gonna see no value in me as a partner, which in my head I know absolutely not true because she's not that type of person and she would never be that type of person. But in my head, in my body dysmorphia and where I've come from and the things that I've heard and the things people have said to me, that is always in the back of my head. If you lose weight, she's not gonna love you anymore. And it terrifies me from day to day to day to day. So I just keep working for it and working for it and working for it. So please be conscious of anything you say to anybody. Know the long-term effects it's gonna have not only with their body, but with their mental health as well. If your mental health is not in check, it's gonna be extremely difficult for you to lose weight or gain weight or get, to a certain point where you want to be. If you want to get to that bodybuilding show, if you want to get to that CrossFit competition, if you want to run that marathon, whatever you may want to do, if your mental health isn't in check, it's going to put a huge roadblock in that journey. So just know, whenever somebody is talking down on you, making fun of you, picking on you for the way that you look, anything like that, I bet you the same thing is going on in their head. So what you need to say is to yourself is, this person is hurting. This person is struggling inside their own head. They're trying to interrupt my peace and they're trying to interrupt my journey because I am doing something about it and I am working towards it. And they want to put themselves up to feel better because they don't feel like they're up to par with their own standards. If you recognize that, you'll see words in a lot different light and you'll see them in a different meaning. You can take them in a different way and not let that water get into your boat and sink your boat. So take the words that others say, use them as fuel for one. That's a great thing that I do. I take everything that people say to me, I go into the gym and I let it out. I relieve that stress. I get it all off my chest. I push harder, and I push longer, and then I relieve that stress and I let it all out. And also you're taking those words that people say as a favor to that person. You're being the bigger person. You say, yes, you can let it out on me because obviously you're hurting and I get that and I'm not going to retaliate that on you because you might have some body dysmorphia as well and you might be struggling as well. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to use it when I work out, push it, relieve that stress, and I'm going to take that burden off of you as well. And I hope that you can get better. Going back to that example in the gym today, just to finish this video off, I was doing my post-workout posing, shoulders and biceps. I was real pumped up in the arms, kind of my chest and back too. I was sweaty, I was looking good, feeling good, doing some posing. And then the people come to me and like, oh my God, are you doing the show? I was like, no, I'm not doing the show at the end of the year. Why not? Like I said, they did. And, I started telling my goals. I said, well, and this is how I still struggle with the body dysmorphia. I said, well, I know a guy I competed with about a year or two ago. Then this is where he is now. This is where I am now. And I'm comparing myself to him. And as I said that, I kind of started to divert away from it and explain myself. And I said, well, every body looks different at every weight. And I want to get to where I'm comfortable with it. And I started to catch myself and come back on those thoughts because that was the body dysmorphia kicking in again. And I could think back to when I joined the football weight room and I would look at the guys with the bigger arms than me or the bigger bench than me. And I would say, oh, I wonder what they weigh, or, I wonder what they can bench. And when I bench, I'm going to look like that. Or when I weigh that, I'm going to look like that. No, I'm going to look like the best version of myself. I had a client one day ask me, when will I look like you? And I looked him in the eye and said, you'll never look like me. and that's a good thing. You're gonna look like the best version of you that you can be. As long as you keep pushing for me, you're gonna look like the best version of yourself that you can be. You'll never look like me because you don't eat the same things as me. You don't do the same workouts as me. And this isn't in a I am higher than you, it's just a different thing. We don't eat the same things. We don't do the same workouts. We don't live the same life. We don't have the same genetics. We don't have the same height, weight, background, ethnicity, nothing. We are so drastically different. So you shouldn't want to look like me. You should want to look like the best version of you. Because if you can't be happy with the best version of you, then you can't make anybody else in your life happy. First, you need to make yourself happy by becoming the best version of yourself. And then you turn around and you reach out a hand to others and pull them up as well. I'm gonna end the video here. I feel like I've talked about a lot, kind of went off on a lot of different tangents. Hope that I got my points across that I wanted to make, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you ever need somebody to talk to, look to your peers, look to anybody in your life, look to me. I have Instagram, I have YouTube, you can comment, you can message me on Instagram. I talk to everybody. That's what I have social media for, is to have an outlet to talk to people. So if you ever need help, my inbox is always open. We can always talk. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.